Hello, humans of the internet. Welcome back to us, I guess. Welcome to the Gallant Horde. We have been on a hiatus, but we are back. And today we will be playing a game called The Tiefling's Amulet, where these six lovely people are going to attempt to recover some stolen property. Before we get into that, however, I don't actually have a lot of announcements today, apart from we're back, yay! Um, we will be continuing with our fortnightly cycle, so we will be playing every second Sunday morning New Zealand time, which is Saturday afternoon, evening for many of you, and yeah, having some fun, I guess. Um, just thinking if I've forgotten anything. I don't think I have. I think we're just going to dive in. So I'm going to get these lovely people to introduce themselves and their characters because you may have forgotten who they are. Starting with Will.
Yo, I'm Will, and I'm playing Axel, the rock and roll bard.
Woo. Noah.
Hello, I am Noah, and I will be playing Anawan, the human thaumaturge.
Matthew.
My name is Matthew Smith, and I will be playing Elzarin, the Samar swashbuckler.
Nicole.
Hi, I am Nick. I am playing Jaya, the Vanara psychic.
Gavin.
Kia ora whānau. Hi family, I'm Gavin playing Siren Delathon, the very calm monk.
Very calm. And Lionel.
Hi, I'm Lionel, and I will be playing Magnus, the fetchling fighter.
Alrighty. Your potion of resistance today is resistance to acid damage. Will it be handy and useful? Who can tell? We shall have to wait and see. So, some of you have journeyed to Merterra on a little holiday jaunt during the break. It has been very quiet in Althea over the last couple of months. There's not been a lot of things for the Horde to do. And some of you headed to the big city to hang out,
Party.
reconnect with old friends, have some romantic picnics on the beach, I guess, and etc. Probably do a lot of shopping. While you are there, Elzarin specifically, gets a message from Andaline to say that an old acquaintance of hers has contacted her and requires some assistance, and he is based in Merterra at the moment. And could you grab two of your buddies and go and help him out with the little problem he's having? She has also sent 3 other Horde members via teleportation circle using her contact at the Megas Kamana, with instructions to meet the rest of your team at the Golden Goose, which is a tavern that many of you are already familiar with, run by Megrana Copperpot. And that's where we are picking up the story. So you will meet at the Goose and proceed from there.
Do we
Go ahead.
see? Oh, do we see any? How many tieflings do we see at the Golden Goose?
Are you all meeting inside or outside? Let's start there.
Oh, that's a good point.
As a group.
Probably outside.
Oh, Jaya would have gone inside when she got there just to because she
Maybe.
wouldn't know that we're, just supposed to meet you outside. I don't know.
Anawan would want to go inside because then we can wait with a drink and or food.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So how about we say you all go inside and you gather around a table over some time. Will, did you want to say something?
No, I'm good.
No? Okay.
Okay.
There are a couple of tieflings. There's the clientele of the Golden Goose is a very mixed bag. It is the sort of place that has a lot of shady corners for people to have the kinds of conversations that they don't want to have overheard. and there are definitely some people in said shady corners of all kinds of backgrounds and ancestries. I will say that once you are all gathered at a table, you will notice a bluish-skinned tiefling dressed like a sailor approaching the table, and he will walk over and he will go, "You lot look like you might be Andaline's people. Would that be right?"
You'll be right.
Spot on,
Excellent. May I join you?
please.
Sure.
He pulls up a chair and he does that like twisted around thing because he has a tail and he's it's mildly uncomfortable, so he sits like with his hands on the back of the chair, and he goes, "I'm just delighted to meet you all. Yes, Axel.
Axel's sitting like that just because he's cool.
Okay, fair enough. There's definitely a look of, oh, I see you, cool guy. We're both cool guys. Yes, Lionel.
Could I check if I see any apparent weapon on that person?
You certainly may make a perception check.
Wait, that will be a 24.
Yeah, he has a couple of daggers on him. Nothing super like obvious or over the top.
Okay.
They could just as easily be the sort of knives that a sailor would carry anyway, because but yeah, he is not unarmed. He kind of looks around at you all and he goes, "Interesting bunch. Well, I'm simply delighted to meet you. My name is Karnon Scaramir. And I have some background with your organization. I've run into a little bit of trouble, and I was hoping that you would perhaps be able to assist me with this."
Would Elsarin have heard that name?
I'm sure Elzarin's heard that name.
All right.
I'm sure Elzarin's heard
Possibly
that name.
called out over and over again.
I don't know if Elzarin ever actually met him. I don't
He
think
did
he
not.
did, but
Mm-mm.
there would have been talk. Like he
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah. I just want to make sure, establish that.
especially because didn't Elzarin know Rianth?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, so he's
Mhm.
definitely
Yeah.
heard that name.
The Tales of Karnan. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there a book in the library?
There
about
was
Karnan?
a book in the
there
library
was.
about
There's a book in
Karnan.
the library. So yes, Elzarin would definitely be like, "Hey, I know this name," but
Yeah. Right.
um,
So, what is it we can do for you that you called us here for?
well, you see, I have a little bit of a habit of getting myself into troubling situations, and I was in such a troubling situation when all my possessions were absconded with, including all my clothes. It wasn't great. Um,
Ah,
Same.
I I usually would be able to acquire the assistance of my fellow shipmates. However, my captain has, and I quote, said, "This is your problem, you stupid boy. Figure it out yourself." Now, I've done a little bit of reconnaissance, and I am pretty sure I know where it all is. I don't really care about the clothes and the weapons and the money and the various other odds and ends, but there was an amulet that has quite a lot of sentimental value to me, and I would like the amulet back.
What does it look like?
Money talks, brother.
Of course it does. I would expect nothing less. Andaline is an old friend, and she has assured me that your assistance will be exquisite. However, she's also told me I'm not allowed to go with you. Apparently, that's a new rule. I don't love it. I'm just saying. But she's the boss. What are you gonna do? I can give you, shall we say, 50 gold each. Should you return my property to me?
For the amulet, let's be clear. Just
Indeed.
anything else is gravy.
Anything else is gravy, indeed. There wasn't a lot else on me at the time. I'm not so stupid as to go gallivanting with all my precious things, but the amulet doesn't usually leave my person.
Understood.
Why didn't you have any
All right.
clothes on?
Oh, well, honey, that would be telling, wouldn't it?
Ha! Ha ha! You dog.
Can
All
you
right,
describe
hang
the
up.
amulet for us and articulate its properties?
I can do better. And he pulls out a piece of parchment which has a drawing on it of an amulet. It's like it looks like some sort of gem kind of wrapped in wire. And he puts it down. The properties are personal.
Okay, you told us what. Now tell us where. Who has it? Where are they?
Well, so I have done some investigating. And I am fairly certain there is an apothecary shop. It is called the Shadow Glass Apothecary. It's in well, it's not the sort of part of town where respectable people shop, if you get my drift.
All right.
I'm reasonably certain that it is not just an apothecary.
And you think it's there?
I have seen people coming and going, and I have a certain background in certain kinds of business. And if there isn't a smuggling operation coming out of that place, I'm not a first-class sailor. I am a first-class sailor.
Interesting.
All right.
There are several people who have come in and out, and there are also several other people who have come in and out who look like the sort of people who don't want anyone to know they're going there.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly what their business is, but I am reasonably certain that there is some. Not everything that passes through its doors is entirely legal. Yes, Magic Boy.
Yes. As a Murtaran native who has potentially dealt with shady business, do I have a chance of knowing what this place is?
Make a
Recognizing the name of the apothecary.
society check.
Society.
While he's doing that, to the chat, if you don't think Kanan can get a set of clothes from just about anywhere if he
Anyone?
wants to, you have not been paying attention to this character.
That is a 21 on society.
I would say you have certainly heard of this place. You don't know anything about illegal goings on, but you would know that people who are interested in components or particular items or things that you might not be able to get from more respectable establishments, this is the sort of place they would go to try and acquire such things. It has a
Nice.
little bit of an underground reputation for that kind of stuff.
Could I just give a quick look-see around to see if anyone is listening to our conversation?
Sure, make a perception check.
24 again.
This is the sort of place where if you listen in on other people's conversations, you're likely to end up dead. So everyone is very carefully not.
Good.
Gavin, you heard something?
The amulet was the amulet removed by force, or was he just in a state of disrobement and had taken it off?
Are you asking him
didn't-
this question?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you told me and I didn't hear it, or whether we didn't establish.
Well, you see, there was a significant amount of spirited beverages, and then there was a significant amount of spirited activity, and then I woke up and everything and everyone was gone.
He needed that
including
potion of
him.
acid resistance.
I'm not sure that acid resistance would have had any impact in this case.
Oh, it might have.
I don't think that they were specifically after the amulet. I think they just took everything.
Hmm.
Axel?
Okay.
Axel's gonna pick up the parchment and inspect the drawing, and then he's gonna show it to the heir and go, "Check it out, Bart. Get a good look-see." And then he's gonna put it back down like that's a perfectly normal thing to do.
Carnan doesn't even like twitch a tail feather. His tail doesn't have feathers, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Do you care how we do this? Do you care if do you want us to be discreet, or do you care if we go in and make a ruckus and cause a lot
I
of chaos?
mean, I just want my ship back, you know? However, I will say that as far as I can tell, these people are petty criminals, but also not to be trifled with. I could probably take one or two of them on, but as a group, I would probably not be able to get in and out safely. Your call, really. You know your skills better than I do.
I just didn't know if you wanted to keep doing business with them or not.
I don't do business with them.
All right.
Yes, Gavin, Byron.
Describe the last person you were spiriting with, so we have a description.
Oh, honey. Are we after the gossip?
On the
Firstly,
premise
it
that they
wasn't
stole
I
it, we
am.
need a trail.
a person.
Yeah.
There were at least 3, I think. It's a bit hazy, if I'm honest. There was a gnomish gentleman, with surprisingly athletic prowess. There was I think she might have been some sort of shapeshifter. I'm pretty sure. And at least one elf. But again, there were many spirited beverages to start with, so
Cool.
little bit unclear.
But you think they were all in it together? Like it wasn't just one of them?
Oh no, I don't think that at all.
Maybe at the end they were.
They when I say that everything was gone, I'm fairly certain everything was gone. Only some people are less comfortable prancing about in the nude than others.
Fair.
They all left before I woke up, but I've spoken to a couple of them, and it seems that everybody encountered the same problem.
Aha.
Oh.
Okay.
Which ones did you speak to?
The ones I could find, the shapeshifter at the time, they looked like a beautiful, like almost like a dryad. But I wouldn't guarantee that they're actually a dryad due to the shapeshifter thing.
Hmm.
Also, the reason why I think there were 3 of them.
Oh, so do we know where the Shadow Glass place is? I address our group.
I do. I have visited there in the past.
Oh, have you?
Only their up top business. If there is a more illicit operation, I have not encountered it.
I see.
It would not surprise me.
Huh?
They offer things
Right.
nowhere else does.
Well, aren't you a shady little person? He says this like it is not an insult.
I picked that up.
I mean, I'm
out of
happy.
character, no Carnon. I know he's saying it complimentary.
He would give you the information that he has been watching this place for a while. He is reasonably certain that there are at least 6 people working there, apart from the apothecary himself, who have gone in and not come out. He would intimate that he, knowing what he knows about smuggling operations would be reasonably certain that there is another way in, but he doesn't know where it is.
Mhm.
Or another way out, because they go in and then they don't come out and then they go in again. And the other people he's seen going in a shady fashion are people who are probably customers rather than
Employees.
that is
Keep
the
euphemism.
information he gives you about this place. Yes, Siren.
Does Kanan believe the amulet is valuable enough to smuggle out, or that it's just simply been taken with a whole lot of stuff?
No, it has sentimental value to him.
Yeah, it's sentimental.
It's not particular. It is magical, but it's not like super magical. It's not like ridiculously rare or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He
this is
thinks
more like
he thinks it was an
opportune. Yeah.
exactly. It was an opportunistic thing rather than a targeted. Yeah.
Copy
And
that.
he's also very clear that he believes that him and his shipmates could deal with this, but his captain has basically been like, "You got yourself into this with your stupid shenanigans. Sort yourself out."
You've been benched, bro. Sorry, man.
Which, if any of you remember Annabelle, is 100% in character. She's just like, fucking hell, bro. Sort your own shit out. This is your problem.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do?
I guess we go to the Shadow Glass.
Yeah.
Plan.
But on the way there, how do we want to do this? Do we want to try and pretend we want to buy that? Do we want to sneak in? Do we want to something else?
I can do
As
this,
we're on the way.
and Axel disappears, and then reappears.
Well,
Convenient.
Well, do you want us to kind
Just
of
a
walk
thought.
in there? Well, I said we could walk in there, pretend like we're looking for stuff. They buy you time while you appear like you just did, and
Nope.
see if you can find something in back, or maybe find a locked door that's not being guarded that we can enter through, so we can ransack the place.
And
Or-
anyone has been there before. Perhaps he leads. We follow.
Or
Axel-
the sewers. When you are smuggling things, sewers is generally a good way. Got an open way to the waterway, and
What?
relatively
guard that, though?
secret.
Kanana's just like watching you, like, gosh, you sure know a lot about this.
You don't know me.
No,
He wants to.
of course I don't. You do seem to have a very interesting set of skills, however.
I do.
The smugglers I dealt with tended to guard their sewer entrances a little more carefully.
Indeed. Not that I would know anything about that sort of thing, of course, but you don't leave big stashes of smuggled goods without something or someone to ensure that nobody else gets their sticky little fingers on them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I think if we
Alright.
if we go in there and somebody sneaks around, they might not be looking for something like that. If we're all in there, they'd be looking for someone trying to break in through the sewers, maybe, or more up front, kind of snatch and grab. Oh, I didn't think about that. We could try and do a snatch and grab. We could try and pretend to buy the object and then see if they'll be dumb enough to bring it up and out in front of us and grab it and run. I don't think they'd fall for it, but it could be worth a try.
I will
There's enough of us.
say that I believe there must be some sort of storeroom or central location where they're putting things. The impression I got from my investigations was that they have a couple of people who are prone to wander around with sticky fingers and bring what they find back, and then someone else establishes what is of value and what isn't. So my guess is that there's somewhere where the procured items are stored until their value can be assessed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, maybe scouting around to find that place. If it's secure, they might not have it guarded. That means if we get in there, we'll have time to look. That's a lot of if, but
Mhm.
go ahead.
Because
Given you're a sailor, Carnon, do you have a time frame? Do you need to be on the water by a set time? Do we have a day? Do we have a week? Do we have an hour?
Oh, a couple of days maybe.
Let's go. Let us walk and talk. We need not waste Carnon's time. We can plan this
Oh,
ourselves.
honey, you can waste all my time if you wish.
He's so charming. Okay, maybe we should just
Fascinating.
check it out.
Just be
Let's
glad
give
your
her to meet
sister isn't there, because he'd be all over that.
I am aware.
Twins, goodness.
Again.
So many one-liners right now that are
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Can I take us there?
Yeah.
Take us to the.
Absolutely, you
the
would know
party
exactly
there?
where it is.
Yeah.
It's your kind of establishment.
I don't know what you mean.
So he's a shady thaumaturge. Gotcha.
All thaumaturges are shady.
Yes.
I'll just hang around here, and hopefully you'll bring me back my amulet, and I'll give you some gold, and everyone will go home happy.
That's the plan.
Sounds like a really nice dream. Let's hope we can accomplish it.
I have all the faith in you.
That's
Well,
good to meet somebody
let's
I've heard
go
so
then.
many nice things about. In detail, whether I wanted to or not. Anyway, I
Did
roomed
you
with Rianne
now?
for a little bit.
Oh, she's just delightful.
On that we agree. But another day, another time. For now, business. Shall we start heading there?
Let's.
I think so.
Okay, so you head off towards the Shadowglass Apothecary. It is so the Golden Goose is in kind of a shady part of town. The Shadowglass is shadier. You are moving through a part of the city where you really want to be paying attention to the movements and dark alleyways along the way and that kind of thing. It's
Is it the kind of place where your hands just naturally tend to go towards your weapons to make sure they're within easy reach?
absolutely,
Or your
it
gold.
definitely it has that vibe. It feels kind of slightly threatening. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
bothers you. Nobody like there are definitely people watching, and there's definitely a sense of you being people looking and going, they seem like more trouble than it's worth to rob. There's a lot of weaponry and you know, some of you look threatening.
Axel sticks close to his buddy Magnus and
Yeah.
and holds on to Roxy very tightly.
Yes, Nick.
Also, Jaya would have cast mage armor before she left, like just so she has it on as
Yep.
part of her daily things.
Good call. Cool. Yeah, so you move through the space. Anowin, you guide them with extreme familiarity.
Yeah, it probably even goes over a couple fences or through. Probably only know this particular alleyway by running through it.
You eventually reach the Shadowglass. It is in an old building. It's not the shop front is definitely one of those you only go there if you know it kind of places. Like there's a sign, but it's not super ostentatious. The windows are kind of grimy. It's hard to see inside. And there's a vibe that's deliberate. It looks not like a respectable place. It's fine, but it's
So
Anawan,
we-
is your loyalty card 10 or 15% off?
They don't give discounts. Well, you can haggle, but they don't give discounts.
Imagine like a coffee card, buy 10 nefarious items, get the 10th one free.
nefarious items.
of equal or lesser value.
Buy 10
Yeah,
vials
okay.
of human blood and get the 11th one free.
Or you can get
Alright.
unicorn with no upcharge.
How are we doing this?
In the
Exactly.
outskirts of the shop, is there any kid or old person? These are usually the people who see everything that's happening. So I would like to see if there is.
Make a perception check.
Yes.
Can I also make one?
Sure.
Any beggars?
15.
What'd you get, Matt?
16.
Hold for Axel. Have a look around.
Gavin,
22.
you can look. You can look for beggars too if you wish.
Yeah, because often they might know what's going on.
$22, Axel.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
He's a perceptive boy.
That's actually supposed to be 12, so I've got the initiative thing enabled. Let me get rid of that.
That's all good. There's not a lot of people in this street. There are no beggars because this is not the sort of place you make any kind of living from begging. They're
Then it's a
elsewhere
good
in the
thing.
city where there's actually potential for making anything at all.
Okay.
It is daytime, so it's not like, you know, it's the middle of the day. So
But but nobody's hanging around here at all.
no, there's not really anyone hanging around. It's quite the streets are quite close, if that makes sense, and the
Yeah.
buildings are tall. I would say, Axel, you get the slightest like twitch of a curtain from a couple of the windows around. Like there are people paying attention to who is moving around in the street, but there's no one specifically on the street just hanging around. It's kind of a little alleyway, like it's not a main road.
I would like to walk around the building just once to already take a notice of all the exits, potential entry,
would do that with you.
doors, windows, anything that could be used.
Of the apothecary specifically.
Yes.
So it's a business in a building that there's a lot of buildings. Like they're all joined together.
Connected to.
He's a terrorist.
So it's a little bit difficult to know exactly where, from the outside, where the edges of it are. There are, like I said, a couple of windows at the front, but they're super grimy and they don't look like windows that open. There is a second story that seems to have a couple of windows that probably open, but they're not currently open. But it's hard to tell, like the sides of the building because it's connected to other buildings, if that makes sense. Byron.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
The second story. Is there like a landing or anything up on that?
Like a balcony?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? No, nothing like that. Axel.
Is the wall rough enough to climb if you have a climbing trait?
Maybe. You could certainly try. Axel, you had a question.
I'll get
There was
him
a
up there.
point of order. I was just did Kanan specifically tell us what his amulet did? Or that just it was magical?
He avoided telling you what it did.
Okay.
He was asked and he said that the properties were personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I missed that.
Yes, Elzarin.
How easy would it be to get around to the back of this building? You know, business in front, see what else is going on in back.
I mean, you would have to like go around the block and try to figure out where the back of the building is, because it's all.
But I mean, does it look like the back of the building goes to like another alley or how?
So you have the shop front, and then you have buildings on both sides. So it's like a block, like a city block, right?
Okay.
With a second story, but to know about the back of this specific shop, you would need to go around the block and try to work out where the back of this. Yeah.
And we've got Jaya and Magnus circumnavigating that for us now. So let's see what they learn.
Do you want to make a? I'm going to go with survival, I guess, to try and figure out what the back of, unless you have an alternative proposition for me.
No.
I would suggest you count the number of doors up the street, then count back.
I would use survival, but I would also mention that for some people maybe thievery could be appropriate.
Oh,
casing the
If-
place and
If
everything.
if you have
yeah.
that kind of skill
Nope.
set.
Yes,
That's
that would be
And-
great.
And
gonna
that's
say
an
Siren.
count steps.
This is only for the people circumnavigating, so
Yeah.
Jaya and Magnus here.
Woo! 24 for thievery.
Okay.
drop.
Magnus, how'd you go?
No, that's an 11. That's
Okay.
I got lost counting. I'm not good at math.
All right. Jaya, you managed to figure out where kind of the opposite side of this building would be on the back, and it appears to be just a house, like a home, kind of.
Mm,
Again, a double story sort of. It's very closed up. It doesn't
mhm.
look very lived in. But the back end of this shop, whether it's connected, you can't tell from the street, but it looks like a kind of some sort of home, but it's, like I said, fairly shut up and doesn't look very lived in.
Mhm. Interesting. So point that out to Magnus. Like, this could be useful.
Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. Let's go meet up with the others
Good
and let
catch.
them know. So,
And rejoin with a group.
Okay, what are you doing?
All right, shitty boy, lead us in.
Shady boy.
might we want just a couple of people to go in with you, or do you want everybody? Like,
And would
Go ahead.
I
Siren.
mean,
Axel showed us an ability. Perhaps he
Mhm.
could go with you as your
Yeah.
invisible wingman.
Plus, it
Don't
would not be
volunteer
completely
me, man.
mis-
Uh,
hey,
Plus,
you
would not be
volunteered
mis-
yourself
certain
when you disappeared.
that.
So,
You indicated that was what you wanted to do.
Plus, it wouldn't be completely out of the realm
You
of
could
possibility
also-
for you to have a bodyguard of sorts drawing.
Yes,
So-
or have someone go around the back. Have the invisible one go around the back. See if there's a way in through the house on the other side.
hmm.
How long can you be invisible for, and is there anything that breaks it?
Axel would have an answer to that straight away. Will does not.
It's been
Um,
like 3 months since we played. I don't
yeah.
expect people to
Well,
remember.
I'm
just-
something.
10 minutes.
All right.
3 punk songs or 1 prog song.
Yeah.
That is the most accurate description.
I feel like that's how Axel describes all time.
Yeah.
Higher punk lengths.
The length of songs.
So, Anawan, Axel, and I, and people guarding the rest of the entrances just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Wonder
guys
if
going in
Mayhem
the
and I
front?
could get up high. You
That
know,
might be a good idea.
climb the side and
You're in the right part of town for getting high, just saying.
true. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, on top of the building. See if there's a way in from
Well,
the roof.
that's a little dangerous to
And
get
if you
high on
cannot
top of a
get in
building.
directly, I'm sure there's a house ramshackle enough down the block to climb up. Go
Yep.
along the roofs.
I mean, we always split parties, right? Everybody.
It
That is
goes
always a
well.
good
Went so
idea.
well.
Cover more ground.
Okay, so who's going into the shop?
I think it is Magnus and Anawan with an invisible axle.
Okay. And then Jaya and Mayhem, you're going to try to climb to the roof.
We'll go high. Yep.
Mhm.
And Elzarin and Siren, what are you doing?
Round the back.
Yeah.
What are you doing around the back? You're just watching the back.
No.
Guess anything.
We're gonna try and see if there's anybody there, or if not, maybe just knock around the door, kind of investigate, see if it's abandoned, if there's a normal family there, or if there's a bunch of shady guys telling us to get the fuck out.
Like a front. Yeah. Do a bit of perception investigation around that.
Okay, let us start with team shopping.
You just
So-
wanted to avoid saying team backdoor, didn't you?
I will not. There isn't a back door.
Mhm.
So, Anawan, you would know that the proprietor of this place is a gentleman called Valen Blackthorn. Valen is a unusually tall, thin gangly kind of gentleman. He is human, you think, but you feel like there might be something else going on there, but it's hard to know exactly. He's very pale. He has like that kind of lanky riffraff from Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of hair, you know. Um, Fingers that are just a little bit too long. Like he's human, but he makes people uneasy. That's the kind of guy he is. So you know what to expect.
Yep.
Proceed.
Yeah, I'll walk in, kind of.
Yes.
Uh,
Well.
Just for the record, Axel is invisible.
Okay. Cool. So the three of you enter. There is one of those bells, but it's not. It's a little discordant. Like as you walk in, and it tinkles, but in a way that that kind of makes your spine go. Yeah. And it is. This shop has lots of very tall shelves that are just a little bit too close together, and are full of like jars and boxes with weird labels. Some of them in strange languages, and like at the back of the shop there is a counter where Valen is standing doing shopkeeper things. It's dim, not well lit. And as the bell tinkles, Valen kind of looks up, and just before the door closes, you get just a hint of like his eyes glow slightly like a cat's eye, and then the door closes, shutting out the light from the street, and that goes away, and he just looks like a person. It's an uneasy kind of place.
Does it look like he recognizes?
I mean, you're gonna have to get a little bit closer. He's definitely paying attention, but he hasn't said anything. He's just like watching.
Yeah.
As you enter.
I'll kind of slowly walk forward, like looking at the shelves, maybe picking up a jar, before fully approaching the counter. I should clarify, picking up a jar and then like putting it back.
Yeah. He will sort of peer at you and go, "Now, this is a face we have not seen in quite some time. Where have you been?"
Out of town.
Have anything interesting in your travels?
Much. But I'm not looking to sell today. I'm looking to buy.
Brought a friend. And he glances at Magnus.
I did. I have made many friends.
Have you?
But
I
this
just
one
stare back.
is with me.
He's completely unfazed by your stare. He speaks just quietly enough that he's a little bit hard to hear, so you've kind of got to lean in to hear what he's saying. Well, what are we after today?
Well, I have heard through the grapevine you might have come upon a piece of particular jewelry.
This is an
Or at least a few.
apothecary. Perhaps you need to go to a jeweler.
Seemed like it might be up your alley.
Really? And which alley is that?
Well, you know of many things, at least, even if you do not have it. It is something to... okay. Anyone has an 18 charisma. No one does not.
That's fine. You're
Oh,
doing
God.
great. Keep going. I will take your 18 charisma into consideration.
Is of it is something lightly enchanted, is why I think it might be up your alley. You have many
Slightly
reagents. I
enchanted
figured
things.
a more
Very well.
mundane jeweler might be less likely to have it than you.
Right. Well, I can certainly
Especially
have a look.
considering the grapevine I heard it.
Oh. Do tell.
Professional courtesy says I will not.
Ah, I see. Excellent. Well, I can certainly have a look at our stock. What is this piece of jewelry you're after?
It is and I will describe it. My Swiss cheese brain does not actually
Yeah,
remember the description of
I,
it,
I
other
didn't
than like
describe it.
a
I just
jewel.
said there was a
It's like
drawing.
it's like a jewel. I remember
Wire. Yeah.
that being part of the description. I'll describe it. So I will not produce the picture.
Interesting. What does it do?
That's the interesting thing. He would not tell me. But he said I
Fascinating.
might be interested in it.
Well, as I recall, you are interested in strange little trinkets. However, unfortunately, I'm not sure I know what this item is. I do not think it is currently in my shop.
I would get a little bit closer, uncomfortably close, and
He is
go.
behind the counter.
Yeah, I will
yeah.
lean in to be just face like borderline nose touching, and be like, "Are you sure about that?" And I
He
would like
doesn't
to
even
use.
flinch. Like he's yeah.
Okay, I wanted to use quick chorus, but never mind then.
What is that?
Quick chorus, I could try to bully people into doing what I want as an intimidation check against the wheel DC.
Okay. You can certainly give it a go, but this is someone who deals with weird, shady people all the time, so that will be taken into account. But feel free to make a roll. It's an intimidation roll, I assume. Does it give you like a bonus to
It's
that?
not specifically, it's just an intimidation roll against their will DC. So
Okay.
10 plus their will bonus. And I would actually use my Twitch inspiration to re-roll that, because it was lousy.
I don't actually have a character sheet for this guy, so I'm gonna have to make it up.
And that's a
fine.
19.
19.
So hopefully he has less than +9 on will. Crossing fingers.
Oh, I'm gonna make it a contested roll. We had this conversation in the group.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's the thing that I know that Pathfinder you're not supposed to do that, but I don't care. It's my game. I can do
no
what
problem.
I want.
You are the boss.
Okay. That. Look, just roll it, please. Thank you. Oh shit, that was a natural one. Starting out strong. Okay, so what do you say to this man?
I'm just saying, are you sure about that? About the presence of the item in his.
He steps back, which just enough, like just a little bit. Like this is someone who's not easily intimidated, but there's something about you that has creeped him out a little bit. And he is like, I'm absolutely certain this item is not in my shop. Yes.
Do I believe him?
Can make a, I guess, perception roll.
I can
Insight and Pathfinder.
try. 21.
I would say you believe that he is telling the truth. Do not believe he is telling you everything.
The whole, like,
Yeah.
probably something in the lines of it is not physically in the shop, but
it
he
is
knows what the item
an
is.
exact truth.
Okay.
Axel.
Gotcha.
I was just going to say Axel's roll perception on this conversation as well, to glean whether in the shop means in the shop, but it's out the back sort of thing. And I rolled a 27 for that, but it sounds like Magnus got the deets.
This is definitely that kind of thing. Like this is someone who is giving an exact truth that doesn't necessarily give you the spirit of the truth. If that makes sense.
Also, is there like a door to the back, out the back behind the counter or something that Axel would have seen?
He has one of those like little doors with a curtain across it.
So
Like behind the counter, behind him.
So an invisible elf could get through that undetected?
It depends how sneaky said invisible elf is, because he would have to move a curtain.
Would you like a stealth check for that?
I would, please.
This
Could we
story's
attempt to
writing
give some
itself.
kind of bonus for
That's 30 for stealth.
distracting him?
Did you say 30?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
An invisible elf apparently does get through that curtain.
That was a 19 on the die, and Axel's got a plus 11 to stealth.
Nice. Valen is slightly disquieted by Magnus's stare, and so he's maybe not paying as much attention as he normally would. So yes, Axel, you can get through the curtain without attracting his notice. Let's just follow Axel for a bit here while you guys have a
Also, how long has this been? Because I'm just
It's
keeping.
only been a couple of minutes at this stage, so
Okay.
you have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Behind the curtain is like
Let me know when the 10 minutes is gonna
When you're
when
getting
it's
close.
like at 9 minutes, because Axel has a decision to make at that point.
Okay. Behind this curtain is like a corridor, with a couple of doors leading off it, and then at the end there is a flight of stairs. There's like maybe one door on each side, and then at the end a flight of stairs leading up.
Okay. Axel is going to cast Unseen Servant and instruct Bart to sneakily search the rooms while Axel goes upstairs.
Okay, but we'll have to open the doors.
Yes.
Make a Bart stealth check. I don't know if Bart has its own stats.
Hold on, let me just look.
I mean, technically, he's unseen.
Yeah.
It's in the job description.
I've
But-
heard.
But opening doors is a noise thing, not a sight thing.
Mm.
Doesn't say.
Okay, just roll me a d20 then.
Sure.
I would imagine that an invisible servant has quite high stealth, so the DC is not high.
3.
Oh no!
So Bart opens the door on the left, and it goes click click. Axel, you're still there, by the way.
Cool. What does Axel see?
I mean, it's not very well lit in there. Are you going in, or are you going upstairs?
He'll continue going upstairs.
Okay. Outside in the shop, you all hear the creaking of the door, and Valen frowns and kind of turns like he's about to go and investigate. Are you going to do anything? Did you hear that? I'll be right back. Please give me a moment. And he starts moving to the curtain.
Is there anybody else?
I don't
in
think
the shop,
anyone
by
has
the
a
way, with us?
non-suspicious way of
No, there's no one else in the shop right now.
engaging that.
In that case, I would just lean into anyone's ear and tell them, okay, he knows what we're talking about, but it's not in that building.
He disappears behind the curtain. Axel, you've now gone upstairs?
Yeah.
Cool. So no one knows what happens in the passageway. But he returns after a couple of minutes and he goes, sorry, these old houses, they creak and make strange noises. It's disquieting sometimes. Axel,
It's yes.
can Bart speak to you?
No.
Cool. So you've just told him to look for the amulet.
Yes. And if he finds it, to like take it
'Kay,
and
cool.
run away with it.
Sweet. So you don't know what Bart's doing. Excellent. Axel, you go upstairs. The upstairs is a single room that looks like this is where Valen sleeps. It really does look like this is where Valen sleeps. Like it's not very personal. There's a bed, like a bedside kind of table thing, a set of drawers, that's it. It's very sparse. There's very little here.
Can I have just to look around for the amulet?
Yeah, go for it. Make a perception check, please.
Boom, boom, boom. That's a nat 1 for 14.
You do not see an amulet anywhere.
I'll go back downstairs.
Cool.
At which point, I guess Bart would have opened the other door.
Yep. Do you want to make another stealth check for Bart?
Sure do. That's a 9 this time.
It doesn't creak quite as loudly this time. I would say that he could probably have done both rooms while you were upstairs. He did not find the amulet in either room.
Okay.
I would say you're now in like maybe 8.5 minutes.
All right. Axel's gonna move back through the shop and out onto the street before he reappears.
Okay. While this is going on, Jaya and Mayhem, what are we doing?
Trying to find a good place to sneak up beside of a building.
Okay. Make a... I'm going to go survival, because you're a monkey person, so... that makes sense to me.
It's 7.
Gosh, these buildings really have some weirdly sheer walls.
Yeah, gosh. I
Does
like
the
trees much better.
Siren, do you want to roll for Mayhem?
Mayhem has his own stats? He can roll for himself.
Okay.
Please roll better than that little panda. Oh well. He's just a panda. A 13.
13.
Yeah, I mean it's better, but
Mayhem manages to find a couple of handholds and get like halfway up before he gets confused by the fact that Jaya hasn't followed and also runs out of handholds and comes back down again and sits on Jaya's shoulder and looks confused.
I'm just like,
squeak.
all right, let's go back to the front. So we'll go back to the front.
Okay.
Just wait.
Tail
like,
thrashing.
Elzarin and Siren, what are you doing?
We're approaching what was indicated to us to be the house that was directly behind it. How does the house look to us?
Locked up, quiet,
And
doesn't look like anyone lives there. It has
Siren
that
would like to
sense of abandonment.
stealth up. And
Okay.
get to either the door or a window, and then look to see if he can perceive in before he looks to thievery. Get himself in.
The door's a wooden door, so there's no way
Okay.
to look through it. The windows have like curtains that are closed, so you cannot see inside the building.
Siren, go with what I'm about to do. It's going to be a little... just play along. And I pound on the door really loud.
Okay.
Did I get a response?
Nope.
Anything?
Nope.
Okay, do I try and listen to see if maybe anybody's moving inside? Can I
Make a
roll
perception check.
perception?
Yep.
Cool.
Can we
Just wanna
both do
make
that?
sure-
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Because I rolled bad again. 12.
Oh no, hold on. That's still Mayhem's character sheet.
Monkey personality
six-
panda who failed to climb.
16.
6. Oh, 16.
Oh, man.
Neither of
16.
you hear anything.
All right. I try and... Is the door locked?
It is.
I'm going to try and open it.
Wait.
He says while I'm
Uh,
already holding the thieves' tools.
Oh, you got them as well. Paper, scissors, rock. Ezrin first. Elzarin first.
Thank you.
Okay.
I
You're
answered
going to attempt to open the door.
Yeah, I assume that's a
Thank you.
thievery roll.
Indeed.
Cool, thank you. Now, if the dice gods are merciful, 24.
Yep. You can open the door. It's not a particularly complicated lock.
Oh, it's just amazingly simple. That makes me think it. I was hoping it'd be something a little more elaborate to say we were on the right trail.
Expect the
Siren.
door to be creaky.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? Door's open. Or
Let's start
unlocked, I should say.
Yeah.
All right.
in.
I'd look around to make
can I
sure
look
we're not
to-
being observed. Go ahead.
Can we look to stealth in?
Yeah, sure. Roll some stealth, please.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'll look around to make sure nobody's looking too intently at us.
Okay, perception.
You got it.
15.
28. perception?
There's no one in this street. It's much like the other one. There's again, you might catch a few glimpses of some curtains, but no, nothing beyond your average neighborhood curiosity in a place like this.
I'm just glad
Sure.
it's not a gang popping out of a side alley walking towards us.
So you go inside the house.
Uh,
It is empty. This is an abandoned house. There is no furniture, no carpets. It is empty.
I poke my head in to kind of look around for Siren. Do you wave me in? All
It's
right.
clean. Perhaps too clean. I wonder if we can find any false walls leading to the back of that shop. And that's where I look to go.
Maybe.
So you go
Let's
like
try and look.
into the building to try and get
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check, please. Or thievery.
Okay.
I will allow thievery because you're,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
I'll take thievery because it's closer.
When he's checking the walls, I'm going to try and check the floor to see if there's any kind of like hidden basement entrance or anything like that.
Okay. Same
Ooh, I like
things.
that. That's a good idea too. That's a good idea.
I'll do thievery as well. That
Did that
one
roll?
for 11.
Oh. You do not find any secret trapdoors. How about you,
Oh.
Siren? This is going great, you
I
guys.
yeah, I thought for a 12. Excellent.
Oh wow.
Fortunately, Siren, this is not a particularly hidden thing. You do find a curtain, and behind the curtain there is a door that clearly it moves between these two buildings.
Here.
Thank goodness. I've been looking under this dusty rug for I don't know how long.
There's
Ah.
no rugs.
Yeah. Which explains why I've been looking so long. It's really hard to find. Anyway.
It's
Just
a
a
rug
fallen
made
memory.
of dust.
Yes.
Shall we regroup and share our intelligence? Make a plan from there.
Maybe we should try and listen at the door, see if there's activity here, or see if it's locked. We won't go in, but if this door is heavily guarded or there's people there, they'd want to know before we left.
Cool.
All right. Which do you want to do? Check for locks or check for noise?
I'll perceive, given
All right.
your last roll was
Thank you.
way better than mine.
So whoever's listening for noise, perception. Whoever's checking to see if the door is locked without just opening it, I guess.
Yeah.
Thievery.
I will roll thievery.
Perception
better.
20.
What'd you get, Matt?
Hold on, it's still spinning.
Sorry.
Oh, 27.
Cool. The door is not locked, and there is no noise on the other side of it. Which I think probably brings us to the point where we're all in the same place. Jaya is outside, with Mayhem having failed to climb to the roof. Axel, you have skedaddled. How did you get out the door with the terrible bell if you were invisible? I mean, if you without.
Oh, gee, that's a question. I guess
It
that
is.
will require a stealth check.
You can't open the door without the bell going bingledy bingle.
He could hold the bell maybe, and when he opens the door, if you can't see him. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
not there.
Do-
Make a
do you want-
stealth
Do,
check.
do you want to play my character, or can I say stuff?
Sorry. I mean, if you want me to, I will.
So yeah, Axel, being of musical persuasion, would try and disable the bell as he went through.
Okay.
21 for stealth.
Okay. Yeah, you can get out without without alerting Valen.
Axel's back on the street, and he drops the. If there's time left, he will drop and reappear.
Cool. Anowin and Magnus, what are you doing?
I'm following anyone's lead on this.
Yeah.
I
So
told them that he's probably not here, so I will probably just follow and act as a buddy.
and anyone will just ask. So you said it is not here. Have you heard of it before?
Well,
Do you know where I might find it?
describe an item to me and you do not know what it does. I suppose the question becomes, what is this item worth to you?
Worth a fair amount. I said I've come upon many things in my travels. Enough to have an armed escort.
Well, it is possible I could lay my hands on it. His very long fingers do movements that fingers are. It feels like his bones move in strange ways. It's disconcerting. If it was worth my while to do so.
And what would make it worth your while?
Well, you say you have discovered many things in your travels. Perhaps you have something that would be of interest to me.
And this is where the bluff gets called, and
Or failing that, I would part with it for, let us say, 100 gold pieces.
I am certainly interested. However, I am not dumb enough to carry that on my person. That much on my person.
Fair enough. Well, perhaps with your armed escort, you could procure said funds and return, and by then, perhaps it would be in my store.
I guess we shall see. But I will be back.
Excellent. I look forward to doing business with you.
All right.
So you leave?
Yep.
I follow.
Elzarin and Siren, are you also meeting, regrouping?
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
stage?
we'll try and put everything the way we found it as much as we can.
There's nothing
So that
to put.
I know. I meant mostly we'll just close the, have the
Yeah.
door closed, the curtain redrawn, and everything like that. Just so it's not obvious someone's been stomping around.
There is one thing Siren would check though. Now that we've got that door before we walk away,
Yeah.
just looking down, is there any noticeable the door opening, any tread, any scuff marks for feet or anything? Is this a high use
This is
a
a
door?
dusty old house, and it is very
Yeah.
clear that this door has been opened and shut.
Cool, excellent. That's what I need to know.
And people, yeah, like
Yeah.
all right. So you regroup in front of this apothecary to figure out what to do next. And while you do that, we're going to take a break.